Hi, my name is Sandberg. I'm the CEO of Sandberg Ranch.
Hi, my name is Dee Sandberg, and I am Ray Sandberg's wife, co-owner, co-founder of Sandberg Ranch, which is animal garden therapy for veterans by a veteran.
We're a nonprofit organization to help veterans with their PTSD disability through the use of animals such as horses, dogs, and then also we're going to use gardening therapy as well as woodworking and cake decorating to help the veterans with their disabilities to have a better way to get a different therapy.
PTSD is a disease. Veterans come back with it, and we need to help our veterans be able to acknowledge that it's okay to feel the way they feel, because they need the assistance, and we want to give it to them without giving all the drugs that are given to them.
Well, I started my service in 1988. I went to boot camp at the Great Lakes in Illinois. Went stationed on the USS Wisconsin, which is a battleship, and through that battleship I went to Desert Storm, Desert Shield, and during that time is when I got my combat PTSD. So I've been living with the PTSD since 1991. I didn't really get any therapy help until I would say 2005 when I finally started getting therapy. But then I realized that the use of my dog, Jingle Bells, has actually helped me a bit more with my PTSD than I have through any of the psychologists I've used through the Veterans Association. And then because of that, I realized that other veterans can also use the animals to better help them with their PTSD as well.
About a year and a half ago, God had given me this vision to be able to help veterans with PTSD and their families to be able to understand and deal with what PTSD is and how they could help their family member assimilate back into everyday life. And I didn't say anything because I didn't want it to say, hey, let's do this. I just said, okay, I'll keep it to myself. And then 6 months later, Ray had said, hey, let's do this. And we had the same vision given to us by God.
I would say maybe 2 months ago, I had that same feeling, and I went to her and said, hey, you know what, we need to start a ranch for veterans. And she was like, wow, you know what, that's kind of weird because God had just told me that 3 months ago, but I didn't want to say nothing to you about this ranch until it was in your heart to do it as well. The reason why we're doing this is we noticed that veterans have a tendency when they come back from the service not to try to get the help they need with the PTSD, and they try to do it on their own. This way they'll have a place to come that is actually another person that has the same disease as they have, to have a place to talk with them to better understand what's going on with that veteran.
My experience over the 17 years that we've been married, we've had our ups and downs. It's been tough. And just recently I had found out that with his PTSD, he was going to commit suicide. And if it wasn't for Jingle Bells, I would have come home from work and found him not with us anymore.
Also, the reason why we're doing it is we know that veterans have a tendency to use animals like horses and dogs better to communicate when they have a disability. They can talk to those animals and release their PTSD better that way. We notice now that in order to get a disabled vet, in order to get a dog, it takes 3 years, a waiting period, to get the dog. We've been working with the SPCA, and they're going to help us to be able to get the dogs as well as the horses through fostering with them. So the best thing about that is the dogs and the horses normally will be also abused or disability as well. So a veteran will actually get to see that the animal he's using is also hurt just like he is.
My part of it will be the fact of gardening, working with the veterans with the gardening, teaching them cake decorating tips and being able to learn how to do different cake decorating ideas, making jewelry, and just doing different little things that will help them be able to assimilate and feel like they are part or giving back to their families and assimilating back into family life again. We are also going to incorporate essential oils so that we do like an aroma touch therapy as well, so that they will be able to help with the anxiety that they have, the anger, some of the medical issues that can be solved with alternative ways of doing it other than popping with a ton of pills.
And what's nice is that my wife has been going through the same stuff with me for all these years, and so she also has it from the spouse's side to help the spouses out. So because of that, me and her both have decided to go back to school and become Christian counselors. So then there'll also be counseling on the premises with us, because we'll both be counselors. Okay, we're asking for $250,000, and the reason we're asking for $250,000 is for the land that we're looking to get is somewhere going to be either on 529 and the Grand Parkway. Is we're going to look at the land. So we need money for the land as well as the housing and the barns and the trailer to store the horses. Right now you can either go to it's called www.sandbergranch.org, and then if you hit the donate button, it'll take you over to our Indigo site, or you can go to indigo.com and I believe it's /Sandberg Ranch, and you'll see our fundraiser there as well. It's a non-profit, so everything you donate is tax-free, so I really would appreciate your help. And if you can't donate, we said prayers are just as good as donations. So